If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. It's free. There's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcast, and many more. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started today.
There's a million different traits that make everyone unique. Tonight on The Real Girlfriends of America, we talk about what makes you you. Stay tuned for the show. Hello, my name is Kara Manuel, and I am the host of the call for tonight of Real Girlfriends Across America. We are a company that has a foundation and a mission to build lifelong friendships with the women across the globe. Tonight, we are discussing what makes you you, and I have on the phone with me Kareen as well as Annie, and we also have a host of girlfriends listening at home, and they're tuned in as well. So how are you ladies doing today?
Amazing as usual.
Yep. That is great. So tonight, again, we're talking about what makes you you. So I found a list of 10 things that actually makes a person unique. So we're going to actually go over that list of things that actually makes each one of us unique. Talk about is your personality. So the personality is something that is molded from the moment that we are born, right to the present moment. So I'm going to ask you, Annie, what experiences do you think made up your personality the way that it is? You can name one good or bad experience.
Okay, so I've talked about this before, the fact that I'm a military brat. My biological father, my stepfather, my grandfather, they were all military, so I moved around a lot. I went to 13 different schools before high school. I got to experience things that a lot of other people haven't. I've been to Africa. It's just the vast amount of knowledge I got from being a military brat completely formed who I am as a person today. Especially, I was on the wall, the Berlin Wall, the night it came down, and so I got to experience some things that other people wouldn't even know. So.
Okay, so you think that your childhood being a military child is what shaped you to being the person that you are?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. And I'm going to ask you the same question, Kay. What good or bad experience do you think makes up your personality?
You said what specific things make up my personality? I didn't hear you. I'm sorry.
So what good or bad experience do you think helped shape your personality?
Oh, okay. I have to agree with Annie. I think my childhood definitely helped shape who I am today. I think I probably always would have had certain aspects of my character. I can be. I don't want to. I think I don't want to say stubborn. Not because I'm not stubborn, but because I think a better word would be more like perhaps tenacious might be a better word. And I think that that's a large part because of how I was raised. I was homeschooled for the majority of my childhood until I was about 14. And so I don't really have the like people's opinions don't really, I mean, they affect me, but they don't affect me in the way that people would want it to. Like if people don't like what I'm thinking or doing, I'm like, oh, okay, well, that's interesting. And then I just keep on doing what I do, because when I was homeschooled, I got used to, not being informed by other people's opinions. So I think that my childhood really did shape who I am. I think maybe I would have been more influenced by what people think about me if I had not been homeschooled. So yeah.
Do you think that, and the second actually thing on the list is your attitude. Now, do you think that being homeschooled positively or negatively affected your attitude and overall?
I think there are both positive and negative aspects. I think there's positive and negative to everything, right? So the positive thing is that I don't really, I'm not really I don't change who I am because of what people think. And then that can also be negative sometimes. Like if everybody has flaws, right? So if I have a flaw and somebody is like, oh, I don't like this, and it's a flaw of mine, but it doesn't really, their opinion doesn't really affect me because I'm used to sort of doing my own thing. So it's positive and negative.
Okay. And what about you, Annie? Do you think that being born as you put it, a military brat, do you think that positively or negatively affects your attitude overall?
Overall, it's a positive. I've been able to adapt to most any situation I've been dropped into, from being homeless to being, on top of the world. I really enjoy people. I've learned to adopt people into my life as family very quickly, and other people that are in the same situation feel the same way. So I have some very good friends that I haven't seen in years, but we still talk over Facebook and stuff, However, on the flip side, everything was always temporary for me. And so it was very hard, very, very hard, and still can be for me to trust people in a long-term sense and stick around for a long-term sense in any state or any given place or time, because I just don't know what to do when I've been somewhere too long.
Okay. So, and that may also come into our third thing, so it's experiences. So every experiences help us determine how we'll end up interacting with the world and other people in it. So do you believe that experience prepared you for a life as an adult?
Oh, yeah. I've literally become adaptable to most any situation. But like I said, it can cause issues for me sometimes because I'm too adaptable and I'm ready to jump at the gun at any time, and settling in is hard. But I'm super grateful because I know a lot of people. I've been blessed with meeting a lot of acquaintances, and I'm not afraid to go into a room and introduce myself. And I know people who are introverts, and I like to try to pull those people out because I want them to experience some of the world, But sometimes it gets a little hard, because sometimes you feel like you're always putting on a show.
And why do you feel that way?
Well, in addition to the whole, being able to move around and meet people a lot, it was a necessity. If you wanted to be popular, if you wanted to be able to do things, you had to conform and adapt. So you just had to learn how to do that. So in a sense, it's kind of like an identity crisis in a way, right? But if you learn to embrace it, it can be a good thing, It took me a lot of years to realize that, though. There's some people that really couldn't deal well with it, and others who can. I mean, it's all part of life, right, is dealing with how we were grown up.
Okay. And Kay, do you think that your experience being homeschooled, do you think that prepared you for the experience as an adult?
Strangely enough, yes. In a lot of aspects, it helped me to become the survivor that I am, because if I had been more dependent or more interconnected with people growing up, I might not be able to survive in some of the situations that I have been in. I think that being homeschooled and learning how to be by myself has given me a resilience and an ability to survive on my own that I might not have had.
Okay. So do you think that it just helped you be, I guess, a more independent person?
Absolutely, definitely. I mean, not to say that I don't need people because I mean, no man is an island, right? Like we all need people, but just in terms of needing like lots of people around me, I don't need that.
Okay. And I'm going to move on to step number 4. So the fourth thing is a habit or your habit. So a habit is a thing that we do routinely. The habits that we have formed, they determine what aspects of our unique personality that we develop. So do you think that, Kay, there's any habits that maybe you develop that you think that helps you every day? Okay.
I'm sorry. Can
What
you
about
can you say that again? I was experiencing some
Sure.
interference.
No problem. Do you have any habits that you do now that you think that helps you on a daily basis, or any habit that you recently developed?
I
And Annie, if you like, you can answer that same question. Do you think there's any
Yes.
habits that you have formed?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, one great thing about having been all over the world, really, is I was brought up Catholic, and some things and trauma happened in my life that made me question that type of religion or whatever. And so, having traveled around the world, I was able to experience other religions and spirituality. So, in my older years, I've learned to meditate, and I study different genres and religions just to see what it's all about, because I figure that nobody's really wrong or whatever, right? In my opinion. But meditation has been something that's really helped me a lot, because I was always so busy making everybody else happy or worried about what everybody else was going to think or what everybody else was going to say about me. And, you know, I always walked into a room demanding a presence or attention. And I've learned that demanding is not the way to do it. You know, you want to invite it instead of demand it.
Exactly. Yeah, I agree with that as well. I know that like one of my habits that I did have at one point, but which I don't have anymore, so I guess it's not really a habit. But with the meditation, I think that's something I definitely want to pick up on doing, because I found it to be useful when I was doing it. One thing that
isn't it
makes
funny, girl? Like, isn't it funny how like good it makes us feel personally, but we always allow those outside issues and those outside things to stop us from doing something that makes us feel better about ourselves, which is like the complete center of self-care, right?
Exactly. I definitely agree with that. I think it was something that was easy for me to do at the time, and then I moved, and you kind of change your surroundings, and sometimes you drop off habits that probably were good for you, or pick up ones that probably are not the best for you. So yeah, it's always like a balancing act sometimes, but just trying to stay on track on having good habits and just having a good routine. One thing on the list is creativity. So, Annie, I know that you're a creative mind. So, yeah, I know that you want to share with the audience how you're creative and how that makes you unique.
Well, you know what's funny about that story is that I never realized how creative I was. I was always in acting, being a military brat. Like that's what, the sergeants and whatever the hell they are, the big guys, big wigs come over, and you have to pretend like you're a really good kid and have your manners and eat correctly. But I lived in Germany at the time, so we would go out partying on the weekends. It was kind of crazy, but it was always an act, and I did a lot of acting in theater. But I actually just realized that I could paint about 2 years ago, because I was always brought up that you're a grunt, you work, you pay your bills, and you don't complain about it. I never knew that actually chasing my dreams could be something that would fulfill me, right? And so after I broke my back a couple of years ago, I was laid up, literally, because I couldn't stand up. And somebody gave me a paint set, and I started painting. And then I've had a couple exhibits since then.
And that's cool. Okay. And so I'm going to Kay back on the line.
Hi, I'm here.
Okay.